of this source file or of this homework file. And you can easily get a report for each version of what the comment was. So in a software development environment, here it's not important. You can put anything in that you want. You have to put something in or CVS will pop up Notepad and make you put something in. But you can put an empty string if you want. -m, quote, quote, will do fine. If you're working in a team, though, where lots of people are changing the code, you want to know for each version what changes were made. Okay? So let's say that my friend Joe modified my code and added a new parameter to one of my functions, a new argument. Well, I would like for Joe to say, when he checks that in, added new argument to foo, to function foo. That way, when I go look at the history, I'll know what he did. Okay, as I say, for your work, it's not really important. But when we do have an exercise later in the term where we're going to have everybody working on a code base together. And at that point, we will want you to use the log comments. So I do another commit. And notice what CVS says. It's a new revision, 1.2, and the previous revision was 1.1. So if this were code, if I go and just check out this project, I'm going to get the most recent revision, 1.2. But if I wanted specifically to get the earlier one, you can tell CVS that you want the earlier one, not the later one. Any one in the history. So one of the, well, I don't want to get too much into talking about software configuration management, but this completely documents every change to your code, or in this case, any changes to your homework. And for us, it's very useful because it means that all of your homework is all in the same place. We can go and get any student's homework. And oh, by the way, it also timestamps when you submit it. So we'll be able to tell when you actually put your homework into CVS.
So if you are
this is the most simple way. Okay, if you want to go and find one of the CVS graphical interfaces, it's the same program underneath. Okay. Yes, it's all documented on the website. It's in the lecture notes. See, right? It's right here. CVS login, CVS checkout. All the commands that you need are in the lecture notes. But I thought it'd be easier for you to see. So CVS login, CVS checkout, CVS add, and CVS commit. Just those 4 commands. Now, one more thing. If you're doing this at home, no problem. Okay, it's your machine. You are the only one who can see what you've done. If you're doing this in one of the machines in the lab, you should get rid of that directory. Because you don't want somebody else taking credit for your work, right? So you can just delete everything that's in the directory, or CVS actually has a command that will delete the whole directory tree, which you're not responsible for doing. But you can say CVS release /D means delete SE 2003, and it'll delete it all. And now if I do a directory, it's gone. Okay? So it's up to you, but if you are using a public machine, I strongly recommend that you delete your work afterward. Now, what will happen over the course of, as this course progresses through the semester, is you will have more and more homework assignments that will be in your area of CVS. You'll always be able to go back and look at them, and we probably will do some exercises where we will ask you to go back and make a change to an earlier homework assignment. In other words, homework assignment for this class will be to go and change the homework assignment you did 2 weeks ago. Now the last question is, well, what is the homework assignment, right? Now that I've told you how to submit your homework, it's very easy. Okay, the purpose of this homework assignment is simply to give you practice in setting up and using CVS. And maybe to give us a little bit of information about you. So we want you to write a short text file, a little description of yourself, you know, your personal goals or whatever you want to say in English, okay? But we're not going to grade your English or whatever. If you only put in one sentence, though, I would say that's not really satisfying the spirit of the homework. So write a 2-paragraph description and submit your description to CVS. That's all you need to do. It shouldn't take you more than, well, getting the CVS set up and working and your student account maybe will take an hour, and the homework itself maybe half an hour. So, and in case you forget what the homework is, the homework is also here on the website with the date that we assigned it. This is pretty much the same thing. And in addition, we'd like you to start reading the textbook. So please read chapters 1 and 2 of the textbook and make notes if you have any questions. If you see places where you think they disagree with us, please, you know, we can talk about it in class. So, any questions at all about the homework or the homework submission procedure? I mean, you've already asked some good ones. What I will do, for those of you who are interested in other CVS interfaces, here under, I didn't show you this actually. The downloads is where you get the software. It's very hard for me to talk when you guys are talking. Thank you. The downloads are where you download the software. Whatever documentation we can put together, we'll put under software documentation. There's a document on CVS, which you might or might not want to look at. It's really not necessary right now that you look at this because I've told you everything you need to know, but it's there. I will put another document in the same area with a list of the user interfaces that I know about for CVS, and if I can find the URLs, I will put that also. So, will I upload the next lecture before class? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Probably not much before, but you can always check. It should be there by the time class is starting, and probably the morning, probably Friday morning. Maybe you will download it in what? Uh-huh. If you want, but, you know, one of the reasons that I don't hand out printed copies of the notes is I'd rather have you pay attention to what I'm saying than be reading, because I say many things that aren't in the notes. And the same is true of Kurt. The notes are really just an outline. So I would rather actually that you didn't do that. Obviously, it is up to you. But my personal feeling is it's hard to read and to look and to listen at the same time. And I would rather have you pay attention to me when I'm speaking and then later go back and look at the notes. That's also why I have notes in the first place. You don't necessarily have to take a lot of notes. But it is up to you. I mean, one of the philosophies that Kurt and I have is that you are adults. And also, different people learn different ways. Not everyone will find that the same study techniques will work. So you should feel free to find what works for you. And if you have some suggestions for us that would make it easier for you to learn from our classes, we're very interested to hear. Please feel free, especially to send email, because we are not at KMUTT every day. So if you go by our office, you might not see us. but we check our email every day, and